Wasabi, you guys. Um, was a lot difficult than I thought. Um, for those who knows me very well, you know um, I'm not so great at talking. um, I am extremely introverted, so as fun or as extrovert as I sound throughout all my videos, I really am kind of a huge introvert. Like or maybe that I'm probably using that word wrong, but I'm just very bad at talking in general. I I wanted to make this video just to get some. I just feel like getting this out of my system. Um, this is mostly just kind of like a message to not only my past self, to also other people who kind of feels alone. Um, it's Valentine's Day, and I know it's like a lot of people's worst holiday. Like I know how that feels. I'm pretty sure a lot of nerds goes through this. I don't know how to put it. I don't even know how to even start this. Um, if you do feel like shit for every Valentine's Day, for every year, um, just kind of it's hard to word what I want to say without sounding so cliche. Because when we hear other people's advice and all the clichéness, we always like our brain, or we just kind of like have that white noise feeling when we're always told from like everyone else, and not like, I don't know how to word it, but I'm actually okay. I don't worry about me. I'm not. I'll get to my side of my own place in a few minutes, but I want to say something for you guys. For those who are feeling alone and who feel like crap in Valentine's Day, um, if you're one of those people who are looking for love or desperately looking for love, um, there's hope. There's hope. Um, just be careful. Be careful. Know what you want. Uh, kind of be careful what you wish for sometimes. I heard so many horror stories from some of my friends, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. Just don't rush. It's the worst thing you can do. Um, it sucks. It sucks in general. It sucks about conformity. I think that's what it is. I'll get to that later on though. But for now, like for those who feel like crap, like there is hope. You know, for those who's been looking for a girlfriend or struggling, um, there's hope. I know it sounds like a lie, but I can guarantee you it is. It's not a lie. It's um, my friend kind of struggled the same way. I remember I was like in high school, and I have an emo friend who's I wouldn't say he's like emo. He's just like he's not emo like goth emo. He's like emo as in like he'll just listen to like emo bands like Blink 182 or My Chemical Romance or Bring Me the Horizon, or rock bands like that. Um, Huge fan of those bands, and he'd always like, I wouldn't say joke, but he would always mention like how much he wants a girlfriend. Like he would want a girlfriend, and we would always just kind of like joke around like, if only I had a girlfriend or something like that. And he would do that too. But there were some times where he was like feeling depressed, uh, hoping to get a girlfriend. And it's like all of us, like he hates Valentine's Day. Like him, and some other people would always ditch school. I will admit I was one of those who would ditch school during Valentine's Day. Um, yeah, it was more of just we just don't want to see um, we just don't want to see couples, pretty much. I guess you could say. we didn't want to go out and see other people. We didn't want to go to stores and see some Valentine's crap. Um, so we just pretty much kind of hibernated. Um, Sometimes I'll do that. Just kind of stay in my room. Just kind of that's what I used to do in high school. Um, but until like even through like after we graduated and then throughout our undergrad, he would the same kind of thing. Like he just wishes for a girlfriend. Graduated college, graduated undergrad. He works as an engineer. I think that's like six years later now. Yeah, 6 years, 6 to 7 years later, he finally has a girlfriend. He finally has a girlfriend. He finally has a girlfriend, and it's like his dream girlfriend too. Like he has, he would always dream about having this dommy mommy goth girlfriend that every emo guy wants, and he does. He does. He has an emo girlfriend. That the day when he told me that he finally has a girlfriend, like that, like I've never felt so graceful and grateful. Like it was like I was so glad to still be alive and hear that he had a girlfriend. Like I was so happy for him. I was so because it really kind of mentally proved me wrong that like there is still hope. There is still hope. It's the thing we hate. We all hate is we hate waiting. That's the thing. It's not the fact that we hate love. It's not the fact that we hate people. It's because we just hate time for ourselves. That we have to wait this long to find someone in the future that we don't know when. Right? Just not knowing when our time is up is what kills us all. And yeah, when I heard that, it was a miracle. It really did kind of change the way I think, and it made me believe that it can happen to all of us as well. If it can happen to my emo friend, it can it's gonna happen for all of you. There's, just keep hanging in there, please. Just keep hanging in there. I know, I understand. Like, not all obviously all of us can't wait for years, right? All of us can't wait for years, but just keep hanging in there. I can't believe that because everyone would always make fun of him that he'll never get a girlfriend. People would always tease him that he'll never get a girlfriend because he's too much of a he's like me, like we're all goobers, nimrods, nerds. Yeah, just keep hanging in there. I want to make sure if I don't sound too low. I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure that I don't sound too low. Or the entire time my mic hasn't been recording, I'd be very, very sad. God, because that has happened to me before. And it sucks. Jesus. It is cold here at Minnesota. But yeah. just hang in there. For me on my side, I'm good. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm good. This is like I said, this is more of a message to my past self and to kind of other people. Yeah, no, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm too busy. I'm in grad school. I'm working for my thesis. I will admit I do have a bad mental habit of self sabotaging. If for those to all of you who's been there, for those who don't know exactly what that is, because I know some are from different countries, and I'm probably talking in slang words, but self-sabotaging, it sucks. It's like God, how do I explain it? It's like when you see someone that you genuinely like, but in your head, you're like, your brain is telling you like she's probably better off with other or with someone, you know. It's kind of like you reject her not only because you're not interested, but only because you feel like she would have been better with someone else. If that kind of mindset, if that makes sense. It's very depressing. It is very depressing. And I wish like I hope no one would ever have to feel that way. But I do have a bad mental habit of self-sabotaging. I do. In my case, like I'm you know, I've always been like busy with all this STEM stuff, my math papers and all that, and I wouldn't want to be a boyfriend would be like, oh, I'm too busy, or like we're not spending enough time, or not being able to drive and go to their place because something, you know. I'm avoiding relationships because knowing myself, like I'm not at a stable position. You know, I'd be a terrible boyfriend right now, telling, you know, if I had a partner, telling her like, oh, I'm too busy, or I'm not able to do this, or I can't afford to do this. Like, I don't want anyone to go through, to bear with me with that type of situation, if that makes sense. That's probably one of the reasons why I like self-sabotage. It's not really like, I hate it when people think of it as like, oh, you're just inconfident. It's not. It's nothing to do with confidence. It's more of the realism of like, I just don't want someone to like go through this with me, if that makes sense. Like I don't want to drag someone down. Like if you're looking for a boyfriend, there's so many better people than me. There's yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Now I'm just not in a stable position, but I'll be okay though. I'm okay. I'm just until I teach and make money. Until I teach, hopefully I get a teaching job. Hopefully, I hope. I really do hope. I would love to teach college algebra or calculus. That's all I want to do. I'd rather get paid $20 an hour teaching at a community college than working at McDonald's. Please, I'd rather. I just want to teach, but it's been kind of hard getting a teaching job, because I'm not into research. I don't want to do a PhD. I really don't. I just want to teach. I don't want to do research. But it's very competitive, unfortunately. Yeah, I've never been in a relationship in my life. So to all you people, to all you nerds out there who are in the same boat as I am, it's okay. It's going to be okay. I've never been in a relationship in all my life. Yeah. As sad as it sounds, but I mean it's okay. Like I feel like you'll grow out of it. If you're like 19, 18 and you're like having that shitty feeling of like you just never been in a relationship, do not rush it. That's one thing I hate about. I'll get to conformity soon, but oh god, just don't listen to people. I think that's like the hardest advice is like don't listen to people. Just kind of do it at your own pace. Don't rush. Don't, because I know there are some people, you have friends and they're like telling you like just get a girlfriend or find one, you know, or just use this dating app and just kind of, you know, but don't do that. For your safety, well-being, don't do that. You'll fuck yourself up more mentally if you rush. Thankfully my friends aren't like that. My friends are more like, stay away. Don't be like us. Don't get into a relationship until you graduate. And I'm just like, say less. But yeah, no, conformity is kind of shit. Like I hate it too. Like when everyone else is just kind of like telling you like, bro, just get a girlfriend, you know. and we it sucks because people rush in just to fit in, and that's what I hate. You know, people rush because everyone keeps telling us that you look cooler with a girlfriend, and I hate it when it's like this affects to women too. Like I feel so bad for women. Like there would be other women like as like so-called role models, and they would say things like, "Oh, just get like just get a boyfriend, like a non just being like in a non-serious relationship." Like I'm so sorry for any woman that fell into that conformity trap. Like that shit sucks. You know, like no one. This goes to everyone. Like no one should ever have to fall into that conformity trap. Um, I've never been in a relationship throughout my childhood. It's mostly because it's dangerous. This is gonna sound very crazy to all of you guys because of how I am, but I grew up in the hood as much. I still have that ghetto accent too. You just can't. It's hard to tell, but it's there in some occasions. Like if I were to like react to like some nasty ass integral, like I'll have like my ghetto accent comes out. But I'm one of the ghetto nerds. I just don't seem or look that way because I'm like tainted with math passion. But I did grow up in the hood. It's just I'm not too like I was more kind of what's that word? Confinement. I don't know if that's the correct word, but it was pretty much my family was keeping me safe by like we can't go outside, like we were not allowed to go outside. Just school. You go to school. All the schools I've been to are ghetto schools, but we can't go like anywhere else for obvious reasons, right? So, you know, I always hear like stories like from like everyone else on the internet, like, oh, this is how I get a girlfriend. You know, just like go out with her. Like, oh, just like in high school, you see this cute girl, just go out with her. Like, oh, or like well, let's say like she asks you out. Like, oh, just like do it. Go to her house, or like take her to a restaurant. Go like or go have some fun. Go on a date, and that's how you get a girlfriend, etc. Blah blah blah. Yeah, no, my childhood's not like that. I would say I have a shitty childhood except for like up until like middle school. Middle school is where things started getting better because like I have very good nerdy friends during middle school, but at the same time, half and half. It was kind of, it's 50-50 in middle school, but throughout my other school childhood it was pretty shit. Yeah, it's a lot more dangerous in the ghetto. You know, on my end, it's like you would want to like go out with a girl, you know, or it doesn't even have to go to her house. Like it could just be anywhere. Like, oh, let's go on a date. Like go in a restaurant, and like people would always dream, or people would always like tell stories like, oh, just go to a restaurant, you know, have some good times together, chat, and then, you know, you guys kiss, blah blah blah, and then you're done. You just get out of the restaurant. No, in my area, once you're out of the restaurant, all her guy friends are like, oh, who's this guy? Well, you know, and she has like guy friends or cousins, and your ass gets jumped. Yeah, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I'm not fucking around when it comes to the hood. It's not a safe place. From where I grew up, it really isn't. Yeah, who knew you'd get jumped after getting out of a restaurant, you know? Never thought her guy friends would be waiting for you. God, could you imagine if you were to go to her house? You know, it sucks. It really does. It's not safe. Yeah, from the era that I grew up in, it's not safe to get a girlfriend. They were a lot of the people at my school. They were kind of sketchy, but I feel like it's mostly because we're all children. But it was still pretty dangerous, still pretty scary, very sketchy, you know. Like if you were like more muscular and buff, yeah, people would respect you. But if you're like a nerd going out with some beautiful girl, your ass is getting jumped. It's not safe, and I didn't want to go through all of that. God, the shit I've seen from other nerds, I had to pretend to be a psychopath to just kind of make sure. Like I pretended to be deranged, but it was more of like it was just to make sure that people don't kind of fuck with me. But I mean, we're all kids, but it's still pretty fucking dangerous. It's still awful, you know. Like you can't even normally go into a bathroom stall without being crossfired into like two kids giving each other body shots. Like God. Yeah, no. That's literally the only reason. Like I've just never been in a relationship. It was too dangerous. Undergrad years, I was just too busy. Yeah, just wasn't ready. Just wasn't stable. Not in a stable position. Like I can't drive. I'm actually a little too afraid to drive. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm just doing my own thing. So I'm good. I'm good. Don't you worry about me. Yeah. No, back then I used to just oversleep from Valentine. Like every Valentine's Day, I would just oversleep. I wouldn't want to get out of my room. I just didn't want to like see none of that shit. I kind of stopped doing that once I started playing VR chat. When I started playing VR chat, that's where it kind of VR chat really did help me stop that type of oversleeping habit. You know, like instead of just kind of like just like Valentine's Day now, I would just go on VR chat and just kind of just hang with my friends. You know, not everyone has a girlfriend, obviously. Not everyone has a boyfriend. We just kind of mess around and just hang out on VR chat. That's what kind of helped me kind of get over it. You will grow out of it. You will grow out of it. Like if you're, I know it sounds cliche, but you will once you kind of like you'll grow out of it. It'll get old very fast. Your mind wouldn't linger as much. So just keep hanging in there. I know it's like it sucks now because you're still young and you want to conform like all the young peoples. I know. I know how that feels. But you will get out of it. You know, hope will be there, you know. You just have to wait a few more years maybe, depending. It's different for everyone. But don't rush. That's the worst thing you can do. Yeah, just keep hanging in there. Just hang in there. VR chat helped me just kind of get out of it. I have notes on my screen because I have bad memory. Again, I'm stuck at talking, so I'm just kind of like, what else do I want to say? I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about myself. I want this whole video to be kind of like all of us, you know. I'm trying to like not make it sound like this is more towards me. It's I want this to kind of be like all of us. So I apologize if it kind of seemed that way. But I'm not very good at talking. I guess, did I go through everything? I did go through everything that I want to say, except for one thing. I don't know if I want to talk about this, because I feel like if I talk about this, it'll sound more towards me. But I can try my best to make it towards everyone. But I think you know what, I guess I can talk about this. I might as well. I think every nerd suffer from this. One of the reasons why I've kind of debated to make this video, I fear I was debating to make this video and to add this in because I feel like, I don't know, just by like how the internet works, like I feel like if I mention femboys, like people won't take this video as serious as it needs to be. But I mean, but you can't really blame everyone when we're all full of memes and all the internet stuff. But in a serious situation though, I'm going to I was going to talk about like how do I call this? I don't know how to name this, but pretty much I think every math nerd like me kind of suffers this the most. There are some nerds who are like swole, you know, like not every math nerd, but to most commonly like nerds like me, like if you're like me, you know, very skinny, not very muscular, um, pretty much having that masculinity problem. Um, no, I get you, and don't you worry about that. You know, if you're like me, um, you don't have to like don't push it. Like this is all coming like this is all gathering towards like conformity. Like I said, like this whole theme is literally conformity. Like we're all always being told like, bro, like go get a girlfriend, bro, go work out, bro, go like blah blah blah. It's all this conformity shit. Don't let it get to you. As easy as it says, as people as make it easy as it says, it's not easy. Um, but no, I feel ya. This whole masculinity thing of like, oh bro, like just go work out. It's not that hard. You can't do that. That's one. There was a video that I watched where like this amazing guy. I think he's like a kinesiology major or something. But he mentioned like the realistic thing is like you can't just get up and just like, all right, I'm gonna start working out and just start working out 24/7. Like that's to some people, yes, it works, but but the thing is, if you want to do that, you need to check on your mental health first. I think I realize that like no one really talks about that, but I really do agree with this guy. Like if you want to just suddenly work out all of a sudden, like you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna work out 24/7. You need to do your mental health check first. You have to be mentally healthy. If you're not mentally healthy, it's gonna feel like shit to you. And I never realized that. I did. I think I already mentioned this in the Q&A video, but like I tried to work out during my undergrad, and I was just like, this is just boring. I was just unmotivated. It just feels like crap. I don't want people staring at me because of my weird physique. Like it sucks. It really does suck. And I only did it because of conformity, you know. But well, not only that, it was half conformity, half of like, you know, I'll just try it. But you know, if you really want to get into working out first, you need to have good mental health first. You need to work on your mental health first. And I feel like a lot more people needs to start saying that a lot more, because not that many working out videos talk about that. You need to work on your mental health first. Until you're good or like you're mentally ready to push yourself, then you can go ahead and try to motivate yourself to work out. But if you're not ready yet, don't you worry about that. You do it whenever you're ready. You do it at your own pace. Okay. Don't try to have. I know it sucks. It's hard when everyone's kind of pushing you. Like, you know, just do it. But just keep hanging in there. Just keep hanging in there. Yeah. I'm always suffering with like with what, like I always struggle. I don't know why I said suffer. I always struggle trying to gain weight. Always, you know, it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, oh, just eat more, but then you lost appetite. Like it's like, oh, I'm full, and it's like it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, it's not. You can't always consume protein. I tried that during middle school, and I nearly kind of killed my kidneys. Don't overdose in protein, please. It's not good. You need to be very careful. Yeah, so I can't do that anymore now. Almost fucked up my kidney. Um, I can't exactly work out as much or as harsh as I want it to be because I need to eat first, obviously. Um, but that's like the most difficult part is trying to intake big calories. But I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Um, but this whole masculinity thing is it sucks. It really does. I'm trying. Like I said, like I didn't want to bring up this topic of because I don't want to kind of be this about me. I want this to be about all of us. I'm debating if I want to mention this. I don't know, it's really it's just about masculinity. It's like I guess I could kind of made it. I guess I could talk about it. I think everyone is kind of already aware of like all the some videos, not all, but like that femboy math tournament one, like or the linear algebra lecture of like I think people are already well not all of you but like some to those who's been to my old videos like you know that I kind of like tutor math and all that stuff to like to the transgender community in VR chat. Um, but no, I in VR chat I actually hang out like over there with like that's why like I have a lot of like friends who are like trans femmes and femboys, and it's actually because I feel more comfortable. It's like I think this goes to all nerds. Like I okay, think I now I found like a way to like word this. Sometimes I don't know if anyone has been through this, but like I as a math nerd, like it's hard to like conversate with people. I think some of us struggles to conversate with someone, and it's not because of shyness. It's more because of what to talk about, if that makes sense. Like a good example is like when I go to VR chat, it's hard for me to go to uh like those public normal popular servers when everyone's talking about like anime and talking about like video games. Like I know nothing about anime. I know nothing about I know nothing about like Overwatch, Fortnite. I don't even know the names of the characters on Fortnite. Like I know nothing about Call of. I know nothing about guns. I don't know nothing about cars. I know nothing about like video games. Like it's hard for me to talk or to conversate with someone, and I feel like other people are also aware. Like, oh, this guy's boring. Like, oh, this guy knows nothing about video games. I don't want this guy's a loser. Uh, like I'm very self-conscious that people are kind of like think that way towards me. And I don't blame them because it's like what like it's people's preference, you know. Um, it's it's very hard to kind of to conversate. Like I know nothing about fitness. I know nothing about building a PC or computer parts. Like if you talk to me about like graphics cards, like I wouldn't know what you're talking about. So it's it's hard to conversate with someone, uh, you know, with all uh, the common things that people talk about. It's like it revolves around this whole masculinity stereotype, um, and so it's like I know nothing about this stuff. I'm just like a typical math nerd, and obviously not that many people wants to be friends with that, you know. It sucks, uh, but I think some of you guys kind of relate to that where like it's you don't know what or like how to it's hard to conversate because the topics that they conversate about we know nothing about like what to say, you know. Like I don't want to be that type of person be like, oh, what's that, like, oh, tell me more about airsoft. Oh, like because then it bores people and it's like, bro, like I don't want to talk about like all the fundamentals. I don't want to be that type of person to just constantly asking like beginner questions, if that kind of makes sense, you know. uh yeah, it's it sucks. The main reason why like I hang out with like a lot of my gay friends is just to kind of because when I go to like other servers, like I actually, this does actually happen a lot more than you guys think. But like when I go to like public servers like Black Cat, or well, I can't say the. It's for those who doesn't play VR chat. I apologize if you don't understand what I'm talking about. But in VR chat, you just go to like public servers where you just hang out with a lot of bunch of public people. And obviously the majority of, well, how do I say this? It's when I go to public servers and people know that I'm a math nerd or something like that, I always get lectured upon. Like I'm always, people always say like, "Oh, bro, like get a job," you know, but I do get lectures like dude, just go, why be a nerd if you just go get a job? Like just go, you know, quit, go drop out of college and start actually doing like be a man or thing like that. Just kind of all that kind of shitty lecture, and I'm just kind of sick and tired of it. So I think a lot of you guys kind of been through that similar situation. Like I know like some, like I have a friend who would have like relatives, like they would tell him like, bro, like you're an engineering major, like dude, like drop out of, like why are you an engineer? You should be getting like you know, like, or like your cousins would come up to you and be like, bro, like bro's a nerd, like you should learn how to get bitches and all that stuff, like you should learn how to like go drive, go be a mechanic, go do programming. That's more impressive than you being an engineer, and etc. Like all this kind of fucked up lecture stuff. Like I know some of, that's just part of, that's my friend's story, but I know some of you guys probably have been there with your relatives or been with your coworkers if you have a shitty job, or somewhere related to that situation. I get that a lot more than what people think. I get that a lot in VR chat. That's why I don't really go to like public servers as much. Now I just kind of hang out with like my friends, and if I do end up going to a public server, I just end up with this one specific public server. It's pretty much a transgender server, but not a transgender server. It's just this specific world called Trans Academy, and I just kind of hang out there because not only a lot of my friends are there, but it's just like it gives me that fandom vibe. A lot of people there just gives me that fandom vibe because I mean I grew up like when I first had social media, I was a shitty Sonic fan, and I would just hang out, make friends on the Sonic fandom. It gave me that vibe, that fandom vibe. So where people are just kind of messing around, just being goofballs, memes, being dank, just kind of you know, things like that, referencing some funny shit or whatever. Yeah, there's no toxicity or anything, but mainly like there, like when I'm there, like I could actually be myself. Like I could just be like math nerdy me, and people would be like, "Oh, Silver, you're such a nerd," but like it's not as bad, right? It's just like, wow, that's very like they'll still find it like very pretty cool, like, oh shit, you're a math nerd, god, or like they'll do that sheesh, you know, like just kind of, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like there, like I can actually be myself and not worry about people coming up to my face and lecture me about how I should live life, how I should live my life as a mathematician, you know. Like I don't have to worry about people lecturing, like coming up to my face, telling me some shitty lectures about how I should be more manlier and how I should be more, you know, how I should do something else other than doing math every day. So that's why like I just kind of hang out at the transgender server just to like, not only like most of my friends are there, but just like I don't know, I just like the fandom vibe. Like the people there are just a lot more nicer. They're more comfortable. I could just kind of like be myself. I don't even have to mention if I'm like not trans. I feel like trans people, like they know just like how I talk and how I am. They'll just immediately know like, oh, this man's straight. This guy's like the vibe I give off. Like people don't even have to ask me. Like these trans people, they know like just like by the sound of my voice and how I am. They just No, like, oh, it's a straight guy. Some do ask just to make sure, but most of the trans people there, they're just like they know. They know by the tone of my voice. Yeah, masculinity, stereotypes, I don't have to deal with that. That's why like when you see all that stuff, that now you know. It's because I have a lot of gay friends. You just don't see me go to like public places where like most toxic people are, if that makes sense. That's the main reason. So I don't have to like worry about masculinity stereotypes. I don't have to worry about like people telling me to go work out now and then when I have better things to do. Yeah, I know what it's like. Just keep hanging in there. Just keep hanging in there. I think that's about it. Don't rush. I swear to God, please don't. It is horrible. Like I said, it's the worst thing you can do. Don't rush in. Don't rush to get into a relationship. Don't rush in to work out and try to fix yourself. Don't feel like that to yourself. I know it sucks. It's hard when people tell us like, oh, don't worry about what other people say. But then it's like, again, conformity. Like people are saying shit like this and that. Just, you'll go out of it. Just keep hanging in there. There is hope. There is hope. You'll get there. If you're desperately finding love, you'll get there. There is hope. You just have to be more patient. Try as much to save yourself, not to rush in, please. It's the worst thing you can do to your life. It could even be permanent. As bad as it sounds, it's a lot worse than you can imagine. So please do not rush in. In my situation, I'm good. I am grateful for where I am right now. I'm good. I know myself very well. I know myself. I know myself that there is, maybe later on or whenever, however I feel ready for, knowing myself. I'm at a very good state. I just want to make sure. I just want to let you guys know, like it's Valentine's Day, and I want to make sure that all of you guys are okay, and that nothing happens, and that you guys are still hanging in there, because I've been there. I know we all hate Valentine's Day, but I've been there. Just keep hanging in there. Just keep hanging on. All right. Oh. Yeah. All right. I think that's all I need to get out of my system. Yeah. Thanks for being with me. I hope that I make sense. I hope. If I don't, I apologize. Like I said, I'm not the best at talking. I really am an introvert. But I hope that it kind of makes sense, or it kind of helps. As cliche as it sounds, it's not the fact that we don't know ourselves, or like we don't know what to do. It's more of like we just need a reminder. And I think that's what everyone kind of needs. Sometimes I need a reminder. So yeah, it's not, I know it sounds cliche, but it's really true. Just keep hanging in there. Thanks for listening, and I hope everything's all right. I'll see ya. God damn. My hair. It's like here. It's like it looks like I have like it's like one hairstyle, and when I turn this way, it's like a different hairstyle. Jesus. God damn. If I look this way, it looks like a completely different person, and then bam. Alright, I'll stop.